Tim Harris from Miami Booker T. Washington High School, head football coach.
All right, Coach Harris, how excited are you about this coming season? I know you're always excited about football, but this is your son's senior season, preseason #1. It's got to be even more special than normal.
Most definitely, Manny. It's a great, exciting atmosphere, and I really appreciate all the other teams that played for Booker Washington up until this point, really to help set everything up. And that's what happened, and I feel good about that. I feel good about this team in the off season, really doing a good job in training and putting themselves in position to make sure that they continue to get better. And really with the rankings and stuff coming out, all that did was really help motivate our team, because we all understand it's not where you start at, it's where you finish. And our kids are working hard to put themselves in a position to finish, where the pose is at this point.
I don't know who the last team was to go wire to wire, #1 in the preseason. Might have been De La Salle. That's how long ago it was. It's not easy when you're the #1 team to go wire to wire and win national championship. Have you had to have a conversation with them since the polls come out to say, hey, settle down, we got to go out there and still prove that we're #1?
At this point, we really didn't have to say anything about that, because our kids understand the situation. Being, at a state championship game 2 years in a row, and being at Booker Washington, playing the schedules that we play, you got to play week in and week out anyway. So it didn't matter if we wasn't ranked #1 or we was ranked number 20th or number 30th in the country. With the schedule we play is all about, getting it done on that particular day. So our kids and our staff will continue to keep training and developing ourselves, that we know that we got to play week in and week out no matter where we rank that in the country.
You surprised at all when the polls came out, #1? It's not often Miami teams get that kind of respect and love. I know Central obviously was at some point, but 2 years in a row, Miami team. What do you think's changed that all of a sudden we're getting that respect?
I really think that the sports writers and the guys who get the vote for these events really looking into South Florida and understand it's not what people say that we are, a bunch of teams down here that just have talent, no discipline, no coaching. They really evaluating that we do have disciplined student athletes. The coaches are doing a great job teaching and developing, our student athletes. And that's why it's so consistent in terms of why we playing the way they play week in and week out. And then when they leave here, they go into college, and a lot of these kids are playing, in their freshman year. So they really have been developed and being developed to a point. So I think all of those things is being taken in perspective. But I was shocked that we was #1, in the country. I was very shocked. But I understand it, and we feel good about it. That's something that we'll be mad if we wasn't #1. So that's something that we don't have to get geared up about. We just got to make sure that we do what we need to do, as an overall team, to continue and to be there at the end of the year come December.
Obviously, everybody knows about who your special players are, but talk about some of the under-the-radar guys, Coach, the guys that aren't on the top 200 list that you look at and you say, hey, these guys are just as important to our success as the top kids are.
All the kids, especially like kids on our offensive line, we have 2 kids that return. We have 1 kid that's real solid but hasn't been offered a scholarship yet, but he's still understanding the process that he have to go through. And all our kids who's on our second team, who's on our third team, on our depth chart, because we train them every day to be first-team guys. We put them in first-team positions in practice. So, all the kids that's on our roster that's not being highly recruited or have an opportunity to be in a media event like this, all of those kids are so important. And you're going to see when they play, you're going to be saying like, man, where would this kid been? Who is this new kid? So we feel good about all our second-tier and third-tier kids on our team, because we train those kids to be #1, because they one player away from that position. So and now that's why we feel real good about all our kids in that position now.
I guess last one, as a coach, I know you always got high expectations for yourself. December comes around. What's going to satisfy you as a coach ultimately in the end?
number one, all our kids are finishing the season safe, healthy. That'll be the ultimate situation, that all the kids can finish healthy. But at the end of the day, the kids that making sure that everybody improve themselves, that they came out, had a great experience in high school. If I'm going to college, I'm moving up, I'm prepared myself mentally, physically, psychologically, go there. And all the return kids, once that experience is over for this year, being able to say that, hey, man, I got a great experience, I know how to do it, I can be able to add a little more into it, and then we can start repeating things that we put ourselves in this year that can take us, next year to be in this position again. So at the end of the year, we want all our kids to really feel good about their experience in high school and knowing how to move forward and being able to come back and do it again. And the national championship would be awesome, and stuff like that. But I'm going to downplay that until it's all done. Thank you, guys.